visible, right? Is
Yes,
that
it is
right?
visible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Sorry. Once again, I'm greeting each of you. Welcome. Great to see you here. And today is December 20th, 2024, and this is the last online meetup organized by both, Green Data Innovators Meetup Group, and also it's organized by Orlando Power BI User Group. And I kindly ask you also. I think that there are some people are joining. Let me accept them. Oh, and I hope, yes, it will be good to accept all of them. And I will keep my introduction a little bit shorter. And let me go back to my presentation. So today we are going to talk about leveraging Power BI strategies for sales success. And this session, I hope it's going to be more interesting, and Katerina will give a little bit more the detailed information about the session in next minutes. Thank you once again for joining. And let me talk a little bit about the schedule of this session. I'm going to make an introduction in these 5 minutes that I'm doing right now. And in next roughly 25 or 30 minutes, Katerina will present. We'll use her presentation, and then we'll have a Q&A session. Roughly, our session is organized for next 1 hour or 55 minutes. And our speaker is Katerina Mladenovska from North Macedonia. And a little bit about meetup rules. As soon as this meetup ends, I will send if there is any follow-up materials. We have Q&A session, and this session is subject to recording and sharing. If you are not okay with recording, you can leave the session, but I would like to see you here. And a little bit about our achievement, about our sessions in 2024. So these are the people who delivered speech on behalf of Green Data Innovators and Orlando Power BI User Meetup Group's members. I had hosted sessions with speakers from USA, Latvia, United Kingdom, Azerbaijan, Portugal, the Netherlands, and Spain, and also from North Macedonia that I'm going to host. So my great thanks to these people for their effort, for their time, for their desire to share experiences there, and also skills. And if you want to be speaker for next year, here you can see my email address and my phone number. You can simply contact me, and we can organize with your participation meetup for next year. Here, I would like to stop sharing my screen, and also I would like here to deliver the stage to Katerina. So Katerina,
I will
stage
share
is
my
yours.
screen. I will
Yes, please
share
go
my
on.
screen now. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, exactly. Yes, and you can change it into your, presentation mode, if it's okay.
No, it is okay. It's no
Okay.
problem. Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar on leveraging Power BI strategies for sales success. First, I want to express my gratitude to you, Ilgar, who invited me and to be part of your new data innovator today. It is truly an honor to join such inspiring initiative. Now, let me introduce myself. My name is Katerina, and I come from North Macedonia, and I've been working in Nokta, Skopje. Also, I'm a Microsoft certified data analyst, and this certification is a significant milestone in my career. A few months ago, I took a new and exciting step in my career to becoming a Power BI trainer also. Sharing my knowledge and helping others the harness of the data has been incredibly rewarding for me. Today, we will uncover how Power BI can transform raw data into actionable insight to elevate your sales strategies and sales success for decision making. How Power BI drives sales success. The first, I want to tell you that I will explore the essential step through this webinar, how to prepare and manage with your data for the further analysis, effective use of the visual interactivity to tell a compelling story with your data, technique to track and boost sales performance using KPI and advanced visualization. And I will prepare for you 8 example difference visualization and how can you create and format them using a measure and parameter. I prepared for you also 4 different reports. In the first report, you will see a comprehensive sales performance analysis using interactive feature. The second report is created only for quarterly trend analysis. The third report is year-to-date sales analysis with the key of the sales insight and category contribution. And the last report is for month-over-month changes analysis, where you will track and compare the performance metric. Whether you are Power BI enthusiast or just getting started, this session will provide a tool and strategies to enhance your sales analytics. The other one is how can you transform your data? And let's start with the data preparation first. This is the crucial step for the Power BI. And with Power BI, you can import and cleanse your data directly from the Excel to Power Query. Did you know that the first step for the good data is modeling? Data modeling is the fundamental step that bridges the data preparation and visualization in Power BI, while the data preparation in Power Query ensures the data is clean, structured, and transformed as needed. And data modeling organizes the data into relationship and hierarchy that drive the insight. Data preparation in Power Query has some 4-step example, more important step. The first step is important. This is the bring data from a lot of sources like Excel, like web services into Power BI. You must to clean it use data. You must to remove the necessary column. You move duplicate, to transform it, to fill missing values, standardize the column. And the third step is transform.
Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please share your screen once again and go on.
It is okay now? How you see me?
Yes, it's okay. I see you. Go on, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Did you know that the first step of the good data is the modeling data? Data modeling is the fundamental step that bridges the data preparation and visualization in the Power BI, because everything will took from the better drive insight. This I was prepared the 3 column. The first column I want to show you is the band column, and the band column I have 4 categories inside: high, low, medium, and non-category. This category means that under you can transform your data, you can pivot it your data. This column is pivoted by the cells, and after pivoting here, you will get the new column with name after the row category. This especially is important when you want to interact with your data. For the visual interactivity, the visual interactivity is trained and line. It is the ability to create a dynamic visual. The charts such as a column chart, such as bar chart, a line chart, because they instantly reveal the trend and outlier. For conditional formatting, in this chart example, because this is a key technique, and in the chart using the green, using the green color for the grow, using the red color for the decline, making it easy to focus on areas for needed improvement. You can also leverage the dynamic title, field parameters, slicers, bookmarks for the better interactive dashboard, which make your presentation insight. The other information I want to show you, this is the first example. I want to show you the IBC chart visual. This chart is a powerful tool for analyzing the monthly sales performance, analyzing the current month with the previous month. The purpose of this visual example is the main objective of the IBC native visualization, is to provide the clarity in sales trend analysis. If we answer the quick question such as how did the sales performance did this month compared to the previous month, were there any significant increase or decrease or decline in the some performance on these sales? What action can we take if we, based on this insight, if we have negative or positive impact? The first, let's start with the data preparation from this information here. Each row in this data in the table, each row represents the sales performance for a specific month within a fiscal year here. This table include the following data. The first column is total sales. This is a measure, the total sales per each month. The second column presents the previous month sales. For every column here, you can see that I put it a measure here inside to look what is created about the perfect visualization I will show you next. High and low level, we have this column only to present a conditional logic to create this visualization, but the third label is the key label because they will represent only the higher value between the first column sales and the second column previous month sales. This means that this is the label sales. This is the measure for the label sales. This is the measure for the label sales. If you can see that this column is with orange color, but we have the black and the white column. Label sales with percentage which present for us only the higher value between each category of the segmentation in this visualization, because we want to put here the label data information. The label data information will be our label under the column and is concatenated between the first column category and the label sales percentage. This computes the percentage change for the better performance analysis. If you can see, we have the different color here. That's mean that is supporting the storytelling by highlighting the spike or the dip here for the presentation for the good pattern. But between one, I want to share something with you. This is the presentation for the My Power BI, and if you can see, there is a label. This is a label, color with orange color. We have black and we have white color here for the column. Each month present the two columns, current and previous month. But if you want to create this label data information, you must create it above each expectation about this column chart. This is the only technique. How can you create this visualization? But if you want to create the red and the green color here, you can create it from the error bar. This is a measure from high and low label information here. Above the next expectation for my presentation, this is how can you create the right and the green and the red color here. Under the error bar, your measure for sales in option enable it. You can enable it here, error bar, and under the sales you can put it the low measure, low label, and under the previous month sales you can put it the high label measure. You also will color it with the color for the red and for the green, because red with decrease in the sales and green with increase in sales, because the naturally I draw when you see this presentation is draw in the color format. The next one is the Power BI KPI card and small multiply in the Power BI. I present here the card visualization. This is for card new in the Power BI, not a visual, used for the high level summarize of the key metric. The card new example hide the key performance metric for government's example here and small business measure for sales cost and gross margin using in the small multiply. You can see here in the small multiply that's I put it the segment. This is the purpose. So how can you use this card is designed to help the stakeholder example to make informed for decision about their sales. cost and profitability trend, while identify the success of area or needed some improvement. Interactive toggle, this is an interactive toggle here. You can switch between the horizontally and the vertically view here, and allow user to see the more easier explanation of some data. This visual is focused on analyzing things performance across the multiple dimensions, such as a region, product, such as partner channel example. I will show you in my presentation, Power BI. This is the second example. If you can see, this is a toggle, the toggle switching between the horizontally, between the vertically view. This is a bookmark. And the thing of switching between the horizontally and vertically view, you can see there is a title for vertically and a title for horizontally view. But we have a key metric for here in the total. But when I switch in the vertically view, if you can see, there is another measure put in inside. If you wanted to create the other information, you must label it here when you selected the sales. I was created the measure from sales for the previous year, a previous year percentage per each of the visual metric here. The second one is sales performance analysis across different regions across different regions between the country and sales information here.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, mute. Okay, is somebody, yeah, go on, please.
Can I go on? Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, go on.
This is the top column chart. It summarizes the total sales performance.
You unmute yourself, please. Yeah.
Ilgar, can you hear me?
Yes.
Someone will mute me. Okay.
Okay.
For the example here, I was selected the two column with the yellow color. This is in-of-all chart. Why should we use this in-of-all chart? Because this is a free chart here when you use it in the Power BI desktop. And represent the total sales categorization with overview of the segmentation. And what can you see here? This is a waterfall chart. When you want to use it, the cumulative impact of the positive or the negative contribution, like here, it is good to show in the waterfall chart. This will help stakeholder see which region or reduce the total sales. In this visualization, is highlight the sales performance by region here. Example for United States, Mexico, Canada, this is the region. And this region are split into the government and into the mass segment. This is only the two categories which I selected here. The other four categorization here, this is a bar chart. This is a simple effective categorization and comparison between the selected column here. And this breakdown sales data by the channel. If you can see, when I hover over per each country, the all data is selected with color, the blue color. Why we have here the green color? Because we have a positive growing contribution of the market. That's why we have a green color. But in this one, we have a negative color, marked with red color. That means that we have a negative contribution here. The last one is the lollipop chart. This lollipop chart is highlight the percentage changes in profitability across the key metric here, because that helps stakeholder identify where is the growth of the decline or the happening between the sales. Green marker are for positive and the cost gross margin. And if you meet the negative red marker, that will mean that is decline in the performance, such as reduce the sales or increase the COGS. The next example I want to show you here, it is the third example. Wait, please. This is the third example, the sales difference from the previous year across the various countries and products. These two waterfall charts compare the fields parameter. This is the fields parameter slicer for the sales and across the various selection here. And the slicer empowered the instantly highlight the specific field using a parameter. I show you here for the right side under the slicer selection here. This is a field parameter. How can I create field parameter? And for this, the second field parameter for all column name, only I could put it the parameter for the column between the two category, between the two table. I will show you a little bit. The field parameter example, when you select it between the two category, each parameter from here, they immediately change the category here and then automatically show your which table is selected and whether the waterfall chart drill down into category based on the slicer selection. I want to show you, and this is the third example here. If you can see, I have created here parameter. How can I create this one? If I select it here from my table, this is parameter cells. I want to show you. This is how I created parameter cells. If you can see, for these parameter cells, this is a measure from a modeling view. How can you create this parameter? From parameter cells, this is a name from the measure before I use it and create it inside in the my calculation table here. But because I want to choose some information for the later when I deliver the information for visualization, I created some information. This information is generated, if you can see, next to hierarchy lever, which indicate the information for sales category here. This is the name information for sales category when I want to present and then or I want to use it in some slicer for my visualization. And the second parameter I want to show you, this is the parameter which I created from two table. This is parameter from country products, which is given from the financial table. But the second column is created from the date table. If you can see, I created the measure who extract me only the name of the table and the measure who give me only the information from the column. How can I present this one? If I selected example country, if I selected the first parameter here, country, all information will distribute here for horizontally and vertically view in this waterfall chart. And which I selected here, example from the table financial, all selected information will be selected here in the second slicer. If I want to drill down and select the product category, that means that I have information from first category selection here. If you can see that this is category Canada of a category from the country, and I want to choose between the information from the country, or I want to experience to create the other slicer here for information. You can see the product is under the category, the country category here. And all information is drilled down here by the next level from the hierarchy. If you want to choose to see between the other measure here in the sales slicer, if you can see the all information are variable and unchangeable. I will go next to my presentation. I want to perform the sales performance tracking against the target. This is the line chart. And this line chart provides a clear view of how sales are performing over a specific period, helping the team to track the progress toward the goal. It highlighted the trends, spikes, drops in sales, which making it easy to identify the pattern or anomalies. This line offers a direct comparison of the sales via target sales. You can use to track this line chart example to progress and understand whether you are in the piece or to go to your need to correct some action. This line chart is created by the measure by the minimum month sales. This is information from the red color here for the minimum month sales. This is information in the green color here for the maximum month sales. I put it here, the information from my DAX here. And how can you track this? When we meet the minimum information, they highlight with red point. That means that indicate the lower performance for the month. If we meet the highlight with the green color here, the green point, that would mean that we indicate the highest performance per the month. But I also have here the first and the last month sales. The first and the last month sales are marked with the grade point, but that means that the first and the last sales performance either start and the end on this period. The second information here I will present. It is a monthly sales bar performance. This is a column chart combination between the column chart and combination with the line chart. The combination of bar and line chart allow us to see the not just the raw sales performance, but also how it is aligned with or diverges from our slicers. This our slicers is named the measure name. This chart enabled the team to track monthly performance trend, and if there is any consistent drop in the specific month, they could proactively plan promotion or adjust the sales strategies for those periods. This color coding adds a layer of clarity. Green means that it indicates month that exciting to expectation, while red highlight the month where is performance deeper. The use of color focuses your attention where is the need the most. That means that if we have a green color here, if we have example red color here, we can track immediately when we have a high and low value from our sales. But this is a measure. This is a measure. This measure is this is the measure. How can I create the table? This measure will indicate the performance about each value from here. How can I create this measure? This measure is created with connection between the metric, because the measure name present the table, because this table is created in the Power Query with enter the data. And you must select and in a connection it with between created the measure inside. In my next information here, this is the sales by product and by segment, and how I can display this. This is the chart is the good for performance tracking to support ongoing sales planning example. This visualization compares sales via target across the different segment and the product. The light and the dark shading here help distinguish the sales performance from the target achievement. Emphasize that product with higher target achievement, example here Montana, you can see this performing well, while those with the lower percentage, maybe they need the targeted intervention. This is a stack bar chart, but this stack bar chart is created with the measure sales and the target. This target, I created measure for the target. You can see there is a measure for the target. And for how can I create this visualization? In the x-axis, I will show you in my presentation here. Sorry. So you can see for the y-axis, I use the product category. For small multiply, I use the segment. I have a I have a fourth segment here, categorization by sales, by target. But when I want to switch between the view for the sales product and the sales product, the other information here, you can switch between the toggle. This is a toggle. This is a bookmark between the switch view from the sales per product and segment. This is also the line chart with target, but presented on quarterly view, which is allow us the which is the lowest the achievement we have and meet the high expectation of the performance from the target intervention. If I choose the selection between this measure name, if you can see the all information unchangeable here, but we have a dynamic title here, dynamic title and dynamic subtitle. All dynamic title and subtitle also created from the measure. For the 7 example, I want to show you. We have 2 different information and 2 different category. If I want to switch between the table view, you can see the all information unselected here from my left side from the slicer. But if I want to switch between the matrix view, you can see that I selected only the 2 categories from the first slicer and 2 categories from the second slicer. In this example, is very good information because by leveraging this toggle, a user can dynamically choose how they want to analyze the sales data. By bookmark provide a simple yet powerful way to enhance user experience and allow user multiply perspective on the data. The key insight for this presentation in this matrix table is I was created SVG information, SVG measure for the dynamic title. If you can see, this icon is dynamically and it's look like they are dancing because they are animated. They have animated effect here. I want to show you how I created this icon for the matrix table. I will present my measure. This is a measure how I created this dynamic icon. If you can see under each of the coded here, you must to create animated transform attribute name. How can you transform it? Because I use only the, if you can see, I use only the selected parameter for here for the measure sales percentage. That's why I only use the icon from the percentage view in this my matrix table. This is a good for the further enhanced interactivity. The other one, the 8th. Okay, now it is good. The 8th example is sales across sales and gross margin analysis by segment and by country. This visualization is designed to help user to analyze and compare the sales cost and gross margin dynamically. By selecting value from the slicer here, like segments and the country, we can focus on the specific selected category to identify the trend and insight. For example, if you select from slicer sales like me, this is the other 3 slicer, but this is not only the slicer, this is the field parameter. For field parameter created from the measure for the sales, for the cost, and for the gross margin. Because I only was selected the first 3, all indicated information are presented here. And they are focused for supporting data storytelling in the chart. You can quickly and dynamically see how can certain month for the sales, for the COGS fluctuate, like the gross margin here can peak because the gross margin presented this line and the sales and the cost presented in the column chart. This is in the black sales. Behind is presented the COGS. And you can see if I choose between the other categorization from my selection here, you will see that there is a dynamical information between the 2 visualization and between the chart information here. This is the card view. This is the card information. Here, I will show you. Okay. This is only presentation with the card view because I want to present the total information under my selected category here. But if I choose the other element from the segment, you can see every category from the title are changeable. This is dynamic title. This is dynamic title. And this dynamic title you can create with the measure. I want to find its dynamic title. to show you dynamic title. How create a dynamic title. This is a measure for dynamic title. I created with a lot of variable here because if you want to be your title dynamic and you want to be your title dynamic and changeable, you must create it from variable. I want my selection when I create which I category selected from the segment and from the country category between the each of one. If I want to select it, I want to be dynamic. If I choose to be dynamic, you must use the coalesce and selected value from your table, which is a slicer from a segment and country example. The second three information here for the variable is only the selection from the slicer. But if you want to choose between each of this selection from the slicer, you must do categorization here by the variable. If you can see, there is a lot of information here because I have a lot of information created from the measure in this slicer. And if you want to do this, you must to explain it by the categorization from the variable here. And the last one is only how can you construct your title name to be dynamic using icon here. This is only information between the two categories. How can you present this sort of segmentation per channel partner and country information? The next example is a comprehensive sales analysis. I want to show you something. I will draw to my next presentation here. To be look better, this is a comprehensive sales performance analysis per product, per country, and per segment. This is a dashboard created which demonstrates how to analyze the sales data comprehensively using the interactive feature with advanced visualization and field parameter. This is field parameter selection. This is information from the total sales and from the target. This is only the information which I want to select from time frame. This is selection from the time frame. If you can see, I was selected the 9th month. This means that you selected the previous 9th month, and this is a progress bar, and this is percentage, which means that you have meet to a total target. And also if you want to create this information here, you also created with the measure. The second slicer here, we presented the category from my measure name because my category is only the medium here selected. And if you want to tracking something well like this information here, this is a combination between the line between the area chart. This information is good when you want to track some value who meet the target. This sales information by segment per segment time frame. This is how can you combine this column chart. This is also the interval chart here, and how can you combine with if you want to present the different category, because I want to compare the 2-year per category. This is only good information. How can you create it with interval chart? If you want to use the KPI chart, like this example here, this is from KPI card analysis. And this horizontal view will present you the information per each country. The first information here, a KPI card, how quickly can show you whether the business is growing on decline and enabling the faster strategies decision. If you want to create this is the benefit for using the KPI card for the better granular understanding. The second information is how can you compare the target vs sales per fiscal year. It is good to show you in the waterfall chart because this is the difference. This will meet our bridge between the target and the total sales. This is the variable indicator between the target and total sales. If you want to create something to present some category like this segment analysis and product analysis, I created with column information here. And this red line indicates the indicator between the higher and the lowest value, between the first and the last information here. I want to show you in my Power BI presentation here. If I want to switch between the last 9-month information, if you can see, the all information are changeable here. And also here, you can see there is a shade area who track my source information, because if I want to know the last 9-month information, how doing, the area chart will present the source information. This is a total information from all year. If you want to choose between the sum category, example, the tracking information here, you can see that all categorization and information and changeable dynamically. I want to show you the other information from my report. This is a report for quarterly financial trend analysis. If you want to create this one, this is some very good information. How can you compare your slicer? Because I have a lot of slicer here for measure from the sales, from the gross margin, and from the COGS. The first example here, this is a card. I will show you which card I choose. This one. I only choose the card new, but how can you create? If you want to put it the country here in the small multiply, you can have this information per country. Because I want only the country be changeable, my measure name. This, if you can see that this selection from this slicer here is changeable only for this category from the country here, from the KPI card. This three line chart, or if you can see, if I change something from this measure here, in this slicer here inside, all information unchangeable, because the first information from the line chart is analyze the sales and the gross margin across the trend by the fiscal year and distribute it horizontally. The second one is compare the sales and the cost to assess the cost efficiency for our quarterly basis. Also, if you can see that all total information are changeable by the because I have created a measure from dynamic title and dynamic subtitle here. The third information here is also the line chart, and this track the relationship between the COGS between the gross margin by the fiscal year also. For this information here, this is a scatter plot chart. This scatter plot chart is very good information if you want to compare some distribution between the small and the biggest category. You can create this one information from scatter plot chart. Because all my report are categorized by quarterly financial analysis, that's why I want to choose the segment analysis to categorize per quarterly basis. If you want to understand the better analysis from this scatter plot charts and how can you create this one, if you can see that we have a small cycle here. This small cycle here will present that we have a low sales and that we have a low cost. That means that we have a minimal impact of category. For the other one, in the top right information here, we have a high sales and we have high cost, and that means that we have less efficiency. But if we have a different categorization here from the left side here, that means that this chart will present the profitable, because we have the high sales and we have the low cost. That means that we have a good impact from the sales analysis. But if we have here some cycle, because I don't have now, but if you meet some cycle here in the top if the top bottom side here, that means that you have a low sales and that you have a high cost and you have a negative gross margin. This example I show you in the first example from my information from the presentation. How can you compare current with previous month sales, and you can compare in the quarterly basis. This is all good information. In my next report here is how can you show like card visualization and information by year-to-date analysis. Because I have created here the KPI card. This KPI card is categorized by example here 5 segments. This KPI card we show only the information for year to date vs previous year to date. How if we have grown, if we have declined between the year, and this information also creation from the measure. And line chart we show how can the all information grow and decline per year. The second one, the second information year-to-date sales by impact. Sorry, I have something wrong. Year-to-date sales inside by product. We have a lolly chart create here. This is only technique. How can you create this lolly chart? I will show you a little bit. In the x-axis, I created the product. In the y-axis, I took it the sales. But the performance, how can you create this lollipop chart is error bar. Because I have only the one measure here, and I have the high level and low level. I only present you the high and low level measure from my first presentation, from the how can you compare the current with previous month sales. You can use this information here to create this lollipop chart. The second one, yeah, I have a report is you have a problem with this error bar. The last one is year-to-date sales inside by region. For this information, I created, if you can see, the clustered bar chart per country. And how can you create this information for country? If you can see that this country concatenated with the value, with the total sales, and you must create also the measure. The measure for this one, I think that's, I will show you. I must know sales one. Sorry, I must find it. I want to show you. If you can see, this sales one will give only the one number. This one number will present the concatenation from the country and from the value here inside. But I will show you something from my presentation. I will drill down my information here. If you can see, how can I create this one? With using the variable from the country, you can use the selected value from your table to select the name of the country. And the second variable is my sales measure. Because you can't concatenate the name with the format, with the name and the value from some information, you must format it. That's why my second variable here is format for my measure. Then this is the combination of how this information is look like, and return the title. This is usable information. I think that's it's better to use something in your visualization. The last one is the my month-over-month analysis. This is a very good information if you want to compare, if you want to track some sales or trend example between the month. If you can see that I have selected the September here. If I want to choose between the other month example, if I want to choose between the June, sorry, I must to go in my presentation here. If I want to choose between the June, if you can see between the June, all information will changeable under the information from selected slicer here. The first one is the information per country. This is information from the sales, from the profit, and from the unit sold. These amounts are variable and in the month-over-month changeable. This is a dummy measure. If you can see from my information here, this is a dummy sales, and dummy sales is only the measure. And under this measure, you will create the information from the slicer. I will show you again. must select this one. And this is a dummy cells. If you can see dummy cells, these dummy cells, here you are. This is only the value. This is the first information. This is only the value. The dummy cell will you presented the first bar here, but the second information from here will present your measure, like me, sales measure. But how can you create this one dummy measure? Under this dummy measure, I was created information from month-over-month changes. And this is the label information. And this label information, I am going under the label data information and under the dummy cells. If you can see, I have a sales month-over-month format. This is a measure how I created for month-over-month change. This is also, I also use the variable to create this measure and to present me under the dummy measure, my dummy measure here. Now I will back show you. This is the second information here from a month-over-month changes. This means that I have used it here the segment analysis per monthly comparison for sales, for profit, and for unit sold. This is also the technique from the first example which I showed you in the first presentation here. And this is also the card information from the total here, from the sales, from the profit, and from the unit sold. The third information here is also from product. This information, how was I created? Because this is a dynamic information. If you can see phase switch between the other information from the month, example, this column presented a changeable variable from the percentage month over month. This is and I want to this is a line and clustered column chart. But how can I create this one? I created product because I want to have a month over month change in previous month at current month. I created product in small multiply, and I created metric. Metric is also a table. Create a table from the previous from the current month. When you want to create this table, you want to concatenate it with your measure, because this is a disconnected table. And disconnected table, you can't use it in your visualization. That's why you must to create some measure to concatenate it between. For the column epsilon axis, I use the metric cells dynamic. The metric cells dynamic, this is the measure from the metric cells dynamic. This metric cells dynamic in metric cells base, which means that I have a line, this line under the product name with a marker. This line, a baseline will be the not static line, but the dynamic metric dynamic line will be dynamic line from your selection from the slicer. But you must create the first and the second line. The first and the second line will be our variable from the previous month and in the current month. This is the measure from the current month line, and this is the measure from the previous month line. If you can see this information, I put it here in the line chart, but you must format it here to create this label information. The information, how can I create it here, is under the error bar. I want to drill down here under the error bar. If you can see, when I choose the metric cells dynamic, have nothing. But if you can choose the month over month, the first measure here, I don't have enable it here. If you choose between the sales variable here, I don't have nothing, because this is only a technique. But if I select it from the previous month line, because you don't you can't create something in your error bar from this this first measure, because this first measure would only show you the static line here from the each product. but this is measured from the previous month line and current month line, because this category you must show me with the line here with the same color. That's why you can create in the error bar. When you selected the previous month line, under the upper bound, you will selected your measure from the sales previous month. The sales previous month measure is this one. But when you created the second information here from the current month line, this is the second line. The current month line is the same color with the previous month. When I select it in the error bar, a current month line, you must enable it. And by default, you can select it in the low bound here, the sales measure. The sales measure is the same. And this is only a technique. How can you create this information to present a month-over-month changeable and dynamic with your slicer and your category information here? I will go into my presentation. Almost we are at the end with our presentation. And I want to tell you that's always leverage dynamic and interactive visualization for impactful story, because the Power BI is more than just a tool. It is your game changer for a data driver decision. And it's a true power, the true power of the Power BI lies, and it is an interactivity. Everything in my presentation is dynamic and interactivity. That deals down in the better further analysis. I would like to thank you for joining today's session, and I want to know if you use something in the information from my presentation. Please tag me to know.
Thank you very much, Katerina. Actually, there was one question from Sanchez toward was saying that if you have more than 5 countries in the year-to-date bar charts, do the labels still appear? I think it's yes, this kind of question. You got the question or what? Can you read? If you want, you can read the chat box, the question.
I want to read it, sorry.
Okay, yes.
If you have more than 5 countries in the year-to-date bar chart, do the labels still appear? Yes, why not? I think,
sorry for interrupting you. I think it depends on the length of the label. And also it depends on the let me check also bar charts. Yes, I think you can dynamically
it still be appearing in the bar
size.
chart. Why no? It's still appearing in the bar chart, because perhaps you're asking about the design, the choices of the limitation of the country per the bar chart, I think.
Okay. My question, I have one question.
Okay.
Do you use third parties visualizations? I mean, I know that, for example, there is so-called, by the way, you can stop sharing your screen. Yeah.
Okay,
For example, there is so-called Zebra company that produces,
yes, I know from Zebra, and I don't use it. Yes, I don't use it.
You don't use it, yes.
No, this is what I show you from natural Power BI, not from Zebra. This is only the bar chart from the Power BI. And how can you create it? It's also a good technique.
Okay.
It looks like the Zebra, yes, but it's not from the Zebra.
What I can tell you, whatever you demonstrated is really great. I know that I have written some articles about, for example, dynamic headers related to visualization. It takes a lot, effort, time.
It takes a lot of time. Yeah. It takes a big effort because everything, if you want to learn, you must to practice. You must to practice. And I believe that learning is a continuous process, and I approach it in the structured way, because when I have a time, I want to practice and I want to learning almost every day because I have a family. I go to the work and come to home. I have a family, and I must to escape 1 or 2 hours per day to track, to write something, to experience, and that's why how you can learn better and better.
And also, one point in your presentation drew my attention. It was related to parameters. Really, it's also good. One more question. I think you use in your work Power BI, right, as a business intelligence tool.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
And yes, no, and also I remembered about our conversation in the beginning of, say, let's say before our session started. Actually, it would be very great to share your file, but I know that you don't share with your file. But however, we are going to share your presentation, right?
Yes, I share you my presentation.
Okay, that's
Yes.
perfect. So I would like to
In my
stop here.
Yes, in my presentation, I have a lot of metrics, but if some of the attendants here, if someone of these like to know about the measure inside, you can write me message in my LinkedIn profile. I will answer it. It's no problem.
Great. So they can reach you using Mladenovska, Sarkisian, Katerina, and yes, if they have any question or relate to measures, so you can write to Katerina and you will get the necessary answer. So once again, I would like to thank you everybody for joining. This is the last, online meetup organized by Green Data Innovators and Orlando Power BI user meetup groups. Taking it an opportunity, I would like to wish you all the best in next upcoming year. I hope as a meetup group organizer, I will be able to organize this kind of meetups in person in lovely Baku, maybe in other cities also. So it would be great to see you here also in Azerbaijan, just to deliver this kind of sessions on behalf of our members. Once again, thank you for your time, Katerina, for your effort, for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you very much, Ilgar, who invited me.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And really, I found it very useful. And I'm going to also implement in my, jobs. I'm working, dealing with some projects, and I will implement all this kind of stuff. Okay. So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much
see
to
you
you
next
and your
year.
all attendants. Yes,
Okay.
Happy New Year. We will see you. Thank you very much to all.
Okay, bye.
Bye.